Man, man. Y'all doing
Yeah,
good
my throw me under
this
the bus
evening?
tonight.
Well, y'all on, and you're live, and you're ready to rock and roll.
Oh well. Thanks for the surprise. Welcome to the round table talk, everybody. I got my crew with me, and we definitely have Tony on for a hot little second. I'm sure he gonna pop in and out or something like that. But again, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Knowledge is Power podcast live. That is definitely presenting the round table talk. I am your host, Christopher Jones, with my co-host and my crew. Perry Busby and Dr. Catherine Campbell. Oh, yes. We for
It's
the
real.
we with it is real because we with the craps today. We is definitely with the craps today. So y'all tell me something. Tell me something that's been going on. Good. I want to hear something good. Right. That's what I
Um,
figured
no,
too.
no, man. I did. I just heard something good, and that is that people are finding ways to raise their voices and make their voices heard, especially among uh, their Republican leadership. So that was encouraging, and I would say I would even encourage those of us who have Republican congressmen. Let's seek out their tone house. This is a
That's
time
that's
for them to hear from you as a constituent.
That's awesome that you say that. That's awesome that you say that. We'll definitely get into that tonight. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Miss Cat, what you talking about? What's been good? What you cook?
I cooked some chicken and rice today. A chicken and rice
See,
casserole.
see, see,
Yeah.
see. That's what I'm talking about. That's good. Cause I stay
Mm.
ready to eat.
And it's ready too. As a matter of fact, I just put
Man,
in the fridge.
man, look at it. So all right, all right. So I think I got two bowls in the refrigerator already. Yeah, that's what
Well, you
that
know what
is.
happens to mine after one day it's going to the freezer, baby.
Oh man, I
Ain't
could
nothing sit in my
imagine what's
refrigerator no long time.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Tony, what you know good, man?
Oh, I know, Mike. Yeah, I just want to remind everybody that come Friday. Let me put myself on the screen with you guys. Come
Oh,
Friday, the
you
28th.
is.
Um, we're going to do the big blackout, the big book out, bark out. That's going to start on the
Boycott.
bark out
Yeah,
at
yeah,
24 hours. We're
yeah.
going to start at midnight at Thursday, at midnight Friday morning at midnight, and we're going to go 24 hours. So if you need to buy gas or go to grocery
Man.
stores or you need something essentials, get it right now before Friday. We are not going to purchase anything on Friday. No Walmart, no Targets, no nothing, no gas, no lottery tickets. We do that before Friday. Now you can have it.
Add to the
Hey
red
man, we
line of the market because y'all see it's already down, right?
correct.
Yes.
Correct. And almost everything is down, and we'll definitely get to that too. Tony. So yeah, we got a hot show this evening. What's good on my side is that um we try to stay in the know. We try to stay either two steps ahead or right alongside what's actually happening, especially at the roundtable talk. So we do have a few things we want to talk about. Nationwide, of course, is not always on our side. Here in the softer side of Texas, we're noticing that children, they really don't give a damn about children. Also, on the local side, we have some things that have been, I would say, bolstered up, expounded. highlighted in the positive, especially again like on the local side. And again to you all during this month, happy Black History Month. Yeah.
365 black baby. Happy Black
Correct.
History.
I forget we're still in a Black History Month. Hey guys,
That's what they want you to do. They want to
yeah.
get
Black
Yeah.
everybody off a track.
365.
They
I'ma
want to
keep
get
correcting
everybody
y'all.
off.
What is it?
They want to get everybody off track. She said it's 365 black. What you
Okay.
talk
Right. It's
about?
Okay. You know
360.
what? Hey, while we're talking about Black history, let me let everybody know that we do have a Black History page on Facebook, and it's called Black Culture Page 365 by Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. That's on Facebook. So if you want to know anything history, there's so much history that we didn't learn in school, or we're just not learning. How old were you when you learned about this? Well, I'm just 65 years old learning on about this. But anyway, guys, I mean, everyone that's
Can people also contribute to it as well?
yeah, right. You can post your if you find any
Okay.
findings, you can post to it, and it
Oh,
my
awesome.
it would allow you to post it on the page. And with that,
Oh,
that's
that's
all I have to
cool.
say. I know we're
That's
going to make
cool.
sure that we're going to
Yeah,
make
that's
sure
great.
that I just want to make sure that we remind everyone about Friday the 28th. That means yeah, make sure you talk to everybody. No fast food, no gas, no major retailers. We're gonna stay out of Walmart, HEBs, and Targets, and we're gonna no Amazon, no Best Buys, no McDonald's, yeah,
Convenience
McDonald's.
stores.
Yeah, we're gonna we're
Right.
gonna we're gonna we're gonna we're gonna make it happen Friday. Okay,
No
Yes.
restaurants.
no
Right. Right.
restaurants. No,
I
no,
mean,
Yeah.
no nothing.
no
And
Popeyes.
from
We don't have no Popeyes.
Right.
right. And
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, do you want?
Now,
if
now,
it's a black owned establishment, they
Oh,
are
yeah, right.
still
Now we can't.
patronizing black owned establishments.
Right. We
We're
encourage you to.
still yeah, we're
We
still
encourage you to
patronizing
shop
black
local if
owned
you have to. Your local
private
shop, mom and pop
establishments.
shops. Yeah, your black shops.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Private owned only.
right.
We're
Your
not
private.
doing black owned franchisees. So if
Right,
you are
right,
black and you own a
Right.
Walgreens or a Walmart or a McDonald's or anything of that nature, we are not patronizing your
right.
stores.
And those who want to,
Um,
and those who want to come in and chat, please uh, chat with us. Get in the comment box and ask
Yeah.
us something that
Yeah.
you need to know.
hey man,
As
we're
a
gonna have to
real
get a
real
number, Tony.
said, Kamala dropped more boxes
Kamala
than
Harris.
yeah, Harris dropped more boxes than Mike Tyson. I'm gonna let y'all handle that. This is y'all show,
Huh?
guys.
So on the state level, y'all, I just want to jump into this right fast. Here in Texas, in the state of Texas, of course, we know over 1 million people were removed from the voter roll, purged from the voter roll. And so, one of my questions to you all is, what do you feel is the best route forward? And stick a pin in it because I want you to hear what the state of Texas is proposing, which is Senate Bill 309, Texas Legislator SB 309. And so this Senate Bill 309 gives or requires voter voters as they register to have their birth certificates on hand when they register.
Well,
So
tell me what is going to be the change of it? What's going to be the change?
you having to have your birth certificate in hand to register to vote. You having to verify that your birth certificate that you have your birth certificate and your ID and any other form of ID in order to register to vote. Now, I don't understand how this is going to happen, but I
It's
want to get
absolutely
y'all's
ludicrous,
take.
Chris.
Yes, go
It's
ahead.
absolutely ludicrous because you have to have your birth certificate to get your license. So why would I mean it's redundant? Why
Right.
would you need to have a birth certificate and your ID?
I
That
totally agree. I totally agree.
Right.
And of
Yeah.
course we know.
I mean, and
Go
we're
ahead,
not.
Perry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we're not ignorant of what the intention is. I think. This one is similar to Senate Bill, no, well, the Saves Act, which is a bill that is going through Congress, uh, which is essentially saying the same thing. And so it's really trying to disenfranchise uh, married women voters primarily, because what they're saying is that when you show your birth certificate and then you show your driver's license,
Driver's
there
license.
then
Right.
now becomes an inconsistency,
Right.
uh, which then requires now that if you have a passport, then yes, that is not an issue for you. But then that becomes an issue of class as
That's
well
it
as
right
race.
there.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And so we get hit with this with multiple, from multiple ways. And so, yeah, we have to all fight for it. I mean, for our female voters,
Right.
I mean, even those, those who have had to change names for whatever reason.
Right. And so, like, how do you assume, or how would we, as you know, on the ground advocates, activists, you know, just people, community educators, you know what I'm saying? Civic educators, people that believe in engaging on the civic level, nonprofits that do voter registrations. I mean, like, this affects all of those people, including deputy
Mhm.
registrars. So, how
Oh
is
yeah.
it that we are going to embolden ourselves and our communities on voting, whether it comes on the local level, on the state level, or and the national level? What is we gonna do?
Uh, well, I know one thing: we can't do what we've been doing.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying that what we have been doing uh, has not advanced us, because it has gotten us this far.
Right.
Uh, so I think that that's one of the dilemmas that gets articulated in some different ways, that we still try to address this in old familiar ways. And this is a new landscape. And so, what does that do
Hmm.
with, because now we have a leadership that's not quite as flexible to get with the times. So, yeah, I mean, so it creates some real tenuous moments. And yeah, those are the things that we have to navigate at this time.
I
But yeah,
agree.
I think it begins with um and I had a talk with someone earlier in the week, and we just said, I just wonder if we just decided, let's have a meeting in Beaumont and just say all leaders come out, who would show? Because
Hmm.
All
everyone
leaders
that
come
shows
out.
up should be the leader. I mean, so my thing is, it starts with who we think we are.
Hmm. Hmm. Man, so Miss Cat, what is
Uh-huh.
what is we gonna do? I mean, like, cause for auntie or grandmother, it may be hard to locate her. It's not. It's not. It's not hard to locate grandmother's birth certificate. But do we wanna have to do all that? Is it even necessary? Like you said, if I go to the DMV, register my vehicle, or get a driver's license, even renew my driver's license, they want to see, you know, uh, your birth certificate. They want to
Two
see,
forms of ID they want to see.
right,
Right.
They
Right.
want to see your
Your
social
social
security
security
number and they
card.
want to see
Right.
your identification. Both of
Right.
which you have to have your birth certificate to receive.
Right.
Including,
So it's
am I not mistaken that you also have to have some form of a physical address? So I mean, you do have to have a. I know in some states you have to either have a lease or a deed in your name,
Oh
or
wow.
someone showing that.
You
I know that
showing that you have a utility at that
right, that you
particular
have
address.
residence, that what you show in terms of your licenses also. So yeah, I mean they
I'm
also
not
look
sure
for
about
those.
that because there are people out there that use the post
Right,
office as their
they can.
address. It's not a physical address,
Right.
but that's their mailing address. And so for their Texas ID,
Hmm.
they can use a post office box. They don't have to have a physical address.
Right. Yeah.
Which your birth
Okay.
certificate is not going to show a physical address
I
anyway.
just right,
Right.
right, right.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just saying
absolutely.
it
Neither is
just
your
shows
social
another
security
form of
card.
identification, right? That yeah.
Yeah. So one of the cushions or ways I see, and y'all could, let me know if you agree or disagree. One of the ways I see, especially here in the state of Texas, as to the pushback, right? Would be making sure that in this coming election, our state elections, that we vote accordingly to those individuals that would not align with this particular policy. And
Hmm.
if it does pass, we push those individuals into office to repeal it, including our governor, our lieutenant governor, and our attorneys general. Those are some of the heaviest spots when it comes to Texas legislation. But we also must remember that we must vote our district representatives in and hold their feet to the fire, as well as offer them our plan. We also
Yeah.
have to vote for our state senators and do the same, hold their feet to the fire and offer them our plan. We
Right.
have national representation, our Congress folks and our Senate folks that represents us in Washington, D.C. That vote toward those individuals and the molding of candidates to take those places should be already happening, right? The engagement of building community awareness around what's happening on the civic side, especially when it comes to our civil liberties, like voting, like, you know, having money or be getting married, different things like that, especially for women. Um, we know that women voters are some of the largest, or is the largest voting body there is, whether it's local, state, or federal. And so we, men, hear me and hear me well, fellas, men, we must protect one of our most forward moving assets, and that's Black women when it comes to their vote.
Hmm.
I'm looking at a lot of our elders, those that were born, let's say 65, that are 65 and older. If they were born in 1955 and or before 1955, they were maybe 10 or preteens to the Civil Rights Act. And so a lot of those now adults, about to be 70, they're starting to see some of the same dialogue or some of the same conversations and or some of the same mannerisms that they saw their parents, aunts and uncles in the civil rights era go through. And of
Hmm.
course, them not understanding the totality of it and they're seeing it play out now. I do hear a lot of individuals that are,
Hmm.
that age or in that age group that are a little timid, a little distant, and a little um exhausted, I would say, because they fought this, They fought this fight for a long time. So my question, as a queen, Miss Cat, how are we? Um, what would be your recommendation for men to protect one of their greatest assets, and that's the woman voter?
Repeat your question one more time.
How could men, how could men protect one of their greatest assets in civilization, in America, which is their a voting woman? How can we
How can
protect you all? And give us
and
the
but
assignment. Some of us are ready to do it.
and it's as it pertains to voting.
Mhm.
How about let's start with talking to our police department about not having a roundup when it's time to go and vote right at the voting poll. Let's
Do,
start right there.
do that happens?
Yes,
Yes.
that happened right here in Beaumont, Texas. There was a roundup, a warrant roundup at the John Paul Davis voting center. It was in the same vicinity, so people were saying, "Don't go over there because the police are down there. They're looking for you with those cameras on, those license plate readers." Yeah.
Never knew that. Never knew that. Well, let me ask
Yeah.
you. Let me ask you this. Then, do you think that to build the to build more voters, that the precincts chair should be responsible for that?
Uh,
It. Go ahead.
oh, thank you so much, Miss Cat. What precinct chair, Tony? We don't encourage people to be precinct chairs. That's the
Wait
closest
a minute.
voice you
I'm a
have to a
precinct chair.
community. I'm saying on a lower scale. My apologies, Queen. My apologies. But we don't promote that on a large scale, Tony. We don't educate precinct chair opportunities on a large scale. We
Okay,
don't.
but we need
I'm kind of
to
confused.
engage our community. The precinct chair is the person that does that. So
Right,
we do need
Absolutely.
to advocate for
Yeah.
more
Uh,
precinct
right,
chairs.
right,
We
right,
do need
Absolutely.
to have the
Absolutely.
right.
precinct chairs go out and knocking on doors and
right.
have a whole team of people that goes out to knock on doors and say, "Hey, we need to go. Come on now, I'm taking you." Not you need to go to the poll. I'm taking you to the
I'm
poll.
taking you to the poll.
Not
Well,
only
That's
that,
yeah.
right.
do you think
Cat,
And
yeah.
it's the precinct chairs that do that.
would you think that that
If I can just offer just some analysis from not just from what I see in Beaumont, but from what I've witnessed, having been engaged in politics at the local level across this nation, uh, what happens in Beaumont is not unique. It
That's right.
you're right, Chris. What has happened, unfortunately, is much of our black political machines are nothing more, and I don't want to go to a base level, but it ends up being more cliquish, and I mean that in a way that because those people in voting really do talk to those people in voting. I'll never forget. I was in South Florida and went to an event because I got several invites to come to it. And man, showed up, and man, it was maybe about 25 people. They all representing different organizations. The first thing I said was, "You talking to yourselves?" And you only get in if people only get in if they can find a way in, or they. And so that's one of the issues. But you're right. In terms of precinct chairs, what usually happens is the party chair ends up appointing most. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it can be a combination of both. But by law, if two people run for precinct chair, it is a ballot race. And
That's
I
right.
think that should be, I think that's even more of a reason why people need to run for those positions because it becomes a ballot race. rather than appointment. And if we
Yeah,
start trying to do this by appointment, it does become, in some ways, a little cliquish. And that's all I'm trying to avoid. And I say that with love. But that's what we end up working with because we only work with the people who we know.
that was epic. That was epic. That's epic. What you was gonna say, Tony?
I was thinking, and maybe my thinking is a little off, that I was believing that the precinct chair in each precinct goes out and start working those precincts from day one. Start to start to promoting that precinct, going to door, communicating with the communicating with the voters, and getting them out and giving them days that we have they got to meet for a neighborhood or community gathering to talk about discuss it. I mean, I think why do we vote for a precinct chair for all these precincts and nobody really doing what I thought that's what a precinct does.
Well, I mean, it's the party chair that should encourage the precinct chair, I believe. Um,
Right, exactly.
but again, that information is not handed down to the next individuals. I could go out to some 20 somethings right now and ask them, are you interested in a precinct chair? And they would not know what a precinct chair is.
Hmm.
So that information hasn't made its way down into the lower portions of the community where where you'll find fruitful individuals that are connected to all areas of their communities and or precincts and would be willing to put their name in the hat for that particular electable space. And again, regardless to party, um we do not have a very large independent party here in the state of Texas, but there are uh, representatives if you don't want to align with the Republican or Democratic Party. They're just again that information and our opportunity isn't trickled down to the newest voters in our communities, and so we have you know let's say 40 on down, some of those individuals may not know what a precinct chair is or what a precinct chair does, and or how to become a precinct chair. That's one of the issues there.
So you
Hmm.
saying that the chairman, the priest, the party chairman should be in training the precinct's chair on what they should be doing in a precinct.
And and the training should be a community engagement event. It shouldn't, I mean, initially you're trying to recruit individuals, right? So you should just expose them what a precinct chair is, Republican, independent or Democrat. That this is
Yeah,
the duties of a precinct chair.
Hmm.
Um
yeah.
and to build your awareness around your particular ideals and legislations that you would like to push, that, like you said, Tony, comes from or should come from the precinct chair.
Right.
And I know, like Miss Cat said, she's a precinct chair and one of the best. She goes to county meetings, she goes to city hall meetings, she
Right.
goes to, she's in tune with uh, voter legislation, she's in tune with state legislation to a point to where um, yes,
Most
ma'am. Go ahead, Miss Cat.
importantly, I do knock on doors.
Yeah,
Miss Miss
That's
Campbell
that's
gonna
the most important
Right,
part. I
right.
engage with
right,
my community.
yeah,
right,
Well,
right,
that's the most important thing now, knocking on doors.
That's the most
right.
Knocking
important.
on
absolutely,
doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, and to say that at a time when people, I mean, when we're kind of closed in some of our communities,
I'm pretty
you
sure
know.
that the chairman,
I
the
mean,
party chairman,
that there are some neighborhoods where people don't know their neighbors.
Well, that's just hey, I can say the same. You know, growing up, I knew everybody, not just my neighbor, not just my next door neighbor or my neighbor,
Right, right,
people on my street. I knew everybody in the neighborhood, and went to
right,
everybody's house
right.
almost. But today, I don't even
Most of y'all didn't. Yeah, y'all didn't
I
have a
don't even know
choice
my
back
next door
then.
neighbor. He's been living there for the last 15 years. So, but that's different. You know, that's what we go through. But anyway, um, I'm pretty sure that the chairman, the party chairman, is meeting with his precinct's chair, but I don't see the fire, the light, the light, the fire under the behind the getting people to work harder because our party is fading. One of the things that we have a problem with is organization. We cannot come together and organize uh, because a house divided would never survive and would never be accomplished. Growth is not there, and this is the problem we have. We have a lot of people that hold these offices in these particular groups and of not only groups but function that would could help the community to come together much stronger, build a coalition to come together. But a lot of them do want it has want to be in that position and want that spot and don't know how to get off the stage.
Mm,
So
Uh,
is
mm.
it
they,
organization, or is it that we
I witnessed a meeting not long ago that I attended and involved in it, and it was so much fighting and arguing and it was just I thought I was watching WWF, but this is one of the reasons why we cannot be strong because we can.
Nor can you all encourage youthful individuals
Right, they
because
want to
that
be there. You
bickering,
know
that
why?
fussing,
How you
yeah,
gonna bring in
we're
that
not
young
about to deal
that
with
how
that.
you gonna bring that young muscle
right,
in here and you're not they saying you acting a fool.
right?
Uh, uh you know, grown people. I'm talking about grown people, grandparents. Uh, and that's not the
So
way.
so are you saying we don't have deliberation? All we have is just some arguing, or what? I mean, because
Let's,
I think something. I think some
we can't get. Let's
deliberation.
just say you can't get ahead until you got a leader, and that leader has to lead. That's the problem we have. We don't have leaders that can lead. Strong leaders that can lead people by examples, by your own
And
example.
may I add, Tony, not only a leader that will lead the masses, but a leader that will also reach behind him and train up.
That's right.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Because without training,
I was
the
getting to that
next
point.
person doesn't know how to go into it.
Right.
So often, we're scrambling looking for a leader, but nobody wants to lead because they don't know how, because the last one held on so long till their fingernails were like
Right.
scratching like the chalkboard
They just
because they
want.
were holding on so tight.
That's right.
But they should have reached,
Golly.
should, while they were doing that, they should have been reaching back behind them and
Uh,
training someone else to come up forward.
that's absolutely correct, and I saw it with my own
Man,
eyes, and I've had witnesses for many years now, and they just don't know how to get off the stage. It's time to move on. And how are we going to get young people in with some energy? Because we don't have the good the atmosphere is not doesn't have any good vibes to want the young group to come in and want to work in the community like we want to work. So
I
that's
mean, Dustin Harris said it perfect. The issue
He
is
is
too
on
many
point.
try to lead and they can't lead their own shadow.
that's
And
correct.
that's something that automatically follows
Right.
behind you.
That's correct. That's correct. They want to lead. I mean, the only thing they're in charge of is at their house. They've never been in an organization that where they was able to
Or maybe they wouldn't able to lead at their house, and so in the community, that's the only space that they could throw themselves around. and be
That part.
bolsterous and
Yeah.
not have
Right.
no, you know what
And
I'm
I've
saying, no
seen this
hit
happen.
kickback.
I've seen this happen in churches
I've
where
seen it happen in
right,
church
and
where,
the
you
deacon's
know,
100 and
yeah,
the deacon's 115 years old, and they still want to run the show. And we're in a whole different time, and that's why church doesn't grow. Not just because the pastor's fault. It's not always the pastor's fault.
but
And sometimes it is, but
it still boils down to what Miss Catherine said. There is no reach back. There
no,
are
it's not.
several
Who's gonna
leaders
train up?
or alleged leaders in our community, and like I always say, leader, please look behind you because there's nobody back there.
Right.
Either one or two things: they left or you left them.
And here's another
And that's
thing.
what we have to understand
Right.
is that a lot of our elders left us. We doing
And
the
you know
work,
what?
but
There's also
there's
such
a
thing as, I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
go ahead. No, you fine,
Go
Queen.
ahead. Go ahead. We're
There's
discussing.
also such thing as leading from behind, you
That's
know?
right.
So,
Yes, yes,
a
Miss
person
Catherine.
that doesn't truly know can actually reach, or maybe someone who does know can reach out to that person and offer their
Absolutely,
help.
Well,
absolutely,
I was
absolutely.
a business owner for 29 years, and the one and by training and looking up from, and I was trained from by some of the best. One guy that taught me, he wasn't black or brown, but he taught me how to organize and run a business, how to lead your people to work for you. Uh, but he's always told me, and I always look at life this way where we go. It's about how you, how can I say this with a word? And I tell my son this all the time, and I went blank. No. But to lead,
65
but when you're leading an organization, you've got to have an open ear. You got to be a worker yourself. A lot of
Exactly.
people want to have those positions, but don't want to work.
And
How
they
do
don't
you?
want to
Yeah,
follow.
right. So what? Why you hold this position for? You don't want to do nothing but stick your chest out and say you run the business. No organization skills. You got to have organization skills. You got to have communication skills. You got to have leadership skills. You've got to know how to encourage others.
Before you start, you have to have commitment.
And that's a commitment.
Exactly.
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 So I don't want to beat this horse down to the ground. I know this is your show, but y'all show. I'm sorry, you the roundtable show. But I like to move on to something. Let's go to the next pinpoint because I got a lot on
My
this for today. Oh, hey, listen.
go
Also,
ahead.
while we listen, also let's do this. Also, let's do this. We've got an election coming up. May. What is the date? May
May
4th.
5th.
May 5th. We got a
May
local
5th.
election. Yeah, we got a
May
local.
May 3rd.
We have a local election that is coming up this May 5th. And I want to bring up this subject that I want to remind everyone who cried and
Election,
whined
excuse
and
me, Tony. Election day will be held on Saturday, May 3rd.
May 3rd.
May
Okay. May
3rd. May
3rd. Okay.
3rd.
May
Okay.
3rd.
May
Okay.
3rd.
I want to remind the community.
Well,
I want to remind the community here that that remember when you started crying and whining and acting a fool about when the person that you voted for and you put him in office because he sold you a soda pop and a hot dog and you bought him and he said he's going to do all these things for you.
He
And
was a free man.
when it came time, after you done sold yourself out to him, when it came time for him to make the decision, both of them that was running. Let me just go. Let me back up a little. We've got two candidates that killed a deal in this city that should never have happened. But I'm not gonna say everybody, but 25% of you all sold out to them. And when it came time for them to make a decision that was best for us, the majority they turn their back on you.
Oh, he rocking the table. You rocking my table tonight, Tony.
They turn your
You
back
want to
on you.
rock the
So I
table?
want you.
Oh, he's shaking the table.
I want the people here in this local election right here in Beaumont, Texas. I want you to hear this. I want you to understand what I'm saying. I'm putting you up to the test. Don't come crying to me and whining to me and what I can do or what we can do and how we gonna get. When you had an opportunity to hire one of the best police chief candidate the city would have never had or ever had. You spent $70,000 to to a a consulting company to bring you back, a recruiting company to bring you back the best of the best, and the best was African American. And you chose those two that's running for mayor. I don't have to call their name, but they understand. But I want my community to understand what I'm talking about. When it came time, they turned their back on you. How is that? How is that soda and that hot dog taste now?
Mm,
How do it taste now?
mm,
This is the opportunity. This is the opportunity to show that what we are going to do as a majority. As the majority, we should be have a seat at the table.
mm.
I'm out.
We should have a table with
Exactly.
the
Exactly.
amount
If
of the
you're not,
majority that we
if you
have.
don't have a seat at the table, then
Exactly. Because see, it's too much going on that
Absolutely.
too much going on. Now we got one of the best city managers that we've ever had, and I've been in Beaumont for 40 years, I think.
and he's transparent.
And he's transparent,
Very transparent.
very
Very
transparent,
transparent.
and has brought us good deals to the table.
Approachable.
Organized.
He
One of the best
listens.
city managers that this city have ever had. And they
Yeah.
are trying to get rid of him.
One of the
Why?
things
Why?
that I
Why?
know for
Because of their
sure.
skin color?
Yeah, of
How can
course.
a
But one of
minority,
the things
how
that
can
I
a
know for
candidate
sure.
tell me, how can a candidate say we want our city back? This ain't your city.
That's it. Hey
How
man,
you
I'm just
I
gonna
how
love
say
you
my
thank you,
gonna how
Pastor.
classmates.
you this candidate said that
I love
is
my
running in Ward.
classmates, man. For
This
real.
candidate is running in Ward
That's central
One.
senior high
That
school right
it's
there.
time for us to get our city back.
I
You- you-
mean,
How you
this the
what you
thing,
saying? You
y'all.
want it all lily white again?
I mean, hey, well, that's what they said on the national side, and that's where we was about to go.
Okay,
So
well
I'm
go ahead.
glad you
And
kind of
I'm glad
segued
you
into
too.
that. So
Uh,
on the national
Thank you,
stage,
Dustin Harris. Thank you, Raw West and Randy Felshaw is those names you won't
I
say.
didn't even want those
I
neighbors.
mean, we
I
all
didn't
know.
even want them names. I didn't even want them names said at my table. But you know, you just allowed me to be on your show. I just, you know, I follow the rules on the knowledge is pot. But we was just gonna read it and be like, that's where it's at, Dustin.
Right.
But
Well, you know,
you had to put them centerpieces on my
Yeah.
table. And I don't want that on my table,
well,
man. I don't
I
want
know
them
this is your
centerpieces on my
I
table.
know this is your Tuesday night show, the round table talk show, but I'm never hardly on at all.
Now you gonna eat that whole plate by yourself too.
But I thought I'd stir up the pot. You understand? I stir it up, stir it up. I want to stir it up.
Just
It's
don't
time
put
to
no
get
more
stirred up.
seasoning in there. Don't you put no
It's time
salt
to
in
get
there.
stirred up. You got Raw West and Randy Felshaw, who
Man.
helped spend $70,000 to a recruiting consultant to hire and bring back the best candidate available.
And
You,
that's just the little wasteful spending that they did. Mind you, they still don't understand the budget that was presented to them as thorough as it was. I mean, they math ain't mathing, but everything I mathed with the city manager as they presented in their finances mathed well with me and calculators, scientific ones at that. And so, yeah, but the thing about it is one of the things that is happening on the national stage. One of our representatives, and I say our because he's an elected representative, even if he's not from the state of Texas. because it's we the people. And so this individual said, fire them all and hire nothing but white men. White men are the most intelligent, intellectual, innovative individuals, whereas blacks are lazy, blacks are this, blacks are that. Of course, anything opposite. And so that's what's happening on the national stage. What you think is going to happen on the state front and on the local side?
Right. Well, it
They're
starts at
getting their cues. They're getting their cues from,
right.
uh,
So
yeah.
for us to defeat this, we've got to. It starts at the bottom, and that's local. How can we defeat them? We can't. How can we defeat what's in Washington? We can't defeat what we got right in our backyard.
Well, I mean, one of the reasons is because we're not equipped to. Give me the tools because y'all not doing nothing with it. Give Dustin the tools because y'all not doing nothing with him. A lot of us, especially in our communities, are laying right in bed with the same individuals that we say we do not like. We get up in the morning and it's like a Vesta Williams song. It's morning. Now it's time to say goodbye. Come on, man. Don't lay in bed with them tonight and then get up and try to educate me in the morning. Your message then is skewed. And our young people see that, especially those that are younger than me. They see your skewed message. There is no way you can invite them to the picnic without nothing on the table.
And the beat goes on.
And the
As I,
beat goes on, I
I
promise.
ain't got nothing to say to that because that's all truth.
stir it up.
It's all
Stir it
truth. No,
up.
I mean, no, and at some point, our
I
elders are
totally
going to
agree,
have to
Dustin. I
hear it.
totally agree. I totally agree,
They're going to
Dustin.
have to hear it. And my prayer is that you don't hear it in an ugly way.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Now, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But we got to do better.
Dustin said, we do have to do better.
Mhm.
Dustin said they wasted time and money when they
Hmm.
could have just moved the BISD police chief over, which was an applicant. He was an applicant. And many Beaumont residents was like, oh, no, we don't want him.
And he had all the credentials.
Every credential that I mean, the recommendation from our neighborhood association and affiliates, as well as some concerned citizens of Beaumont, recommended Anna Frey Tyler, Captain Anna Frey Tyler, Chief Malbro, and at the time, Captain Tim Ognacek. Our first pick, mind y'all, was Anna Frey Tyler because we knew his cycle was coming around so that he could qualify to be a chief.
Right.
Our second choice was Chief Malbro. Reason he was second choice because we know how much of an asset he is in BISD with our kids, as well as Anna Frey Tyler is in our community with our kids, right?
It-
So we were trying to engage and enrich our communities. Our third pick, which was Tim Ognacek, was an appeaser. And no discredit to my good friend Tim Ognacek. He's military. He also is qualified. He is private service military and
Oops.
possibly think of as the police chief, including inside, right? But so does Honor Frey Tyler, and so does Chief Malbro. But what we wanted initially was something that was not from this city, that did not have the polarized mindset of most Southeast Texas residents, and that could give us new sight to a mission, which is public safety and security. And that nobody that wanted that said, okay, well, we'll take the white dude or the substandard individual to be in place of that. We put forth to our city manager to go find the best of the best. And that is what he brought back to us. And like you said, two members of our council, more than two members rather of our council. It was
Right. It
four
was a
members of our council um
right.
that decided, no, we do not want the best. We want somebody that's in-house, that we can control, that we can whisper in the ear behind the backs of the city manager, because mind you, the city manager is the one who hires the chief. The city manager is the one who
Right.
fires the chief. The city manager is the one who makes recommendations for a police chief. Make it make sense to me. Where our or where we allowed, or the lack thereof, allowed our elected officials to take our voice and just put it in the trash. You'll be all right later on. That's crazy.
People, I just suggest this is my advice. You don't have to take my advice. You don't want it. But it's sometimes we got to stop voting for for unqualified people. We vote for them because we're buddies with them, or we are classmates, or we went to school together. He grew up around the corner from me, or he and my Sarah, he's my frat brother. Let's vote for him.
Friend,
Your
brother,
friend, brother.
cousin,
Yeah, that,
uncle.
yeah, but he's not
Yeah.
qualified. Why are we doing
And
it?
that's a waste of your vote.
Right. What are we doing? Well, let's put the best qualified person in the slot and in the seat and move on. And this is our problem always been. But anyway, we're gonna move on. I think we lost Chris for a minute, but I want to. You
Yeah,
gave me a list of
yeah,
stuff you want to do.
and Tony, I agree with that because I think what people get confused is just because they are good people
Right.
that that will somehow translate, and that's not so. And I just think that we have to be, as you say, more strategic, that it's not always about having the king or the queen, but you better know how to have some rooks and some and
And
your
some
knights.
bishops and some
Right,
knights.
right. And so we get, I think, sometimes so caught up into the big pieces that we keep overlooking, like you say, when we started talking about precinct captains, about the importance of really what that means to us,
Right.
because we do. I think we do. We've sort of left it over to people, and people meant well, but we're seeing the results of
Right.
that.
We're seeing the result. It's to them. It's not about the title.
Right, right,
It's about the human being that has the drive, self drive, self starter that's going to do the work that needs to be done as a precinct. Maybe they need to know more what the precinct chair, what is the job description at for a precinct chair.
yeah.
That is
Well,
something. That's something. I mean,
and,
we got to come on. We got to come on with it now. It's time to get off, either
yeah.
shit or get off the pot. We got to do one or
But
two.
if you want to hear something really crazy, Tony, I talked to a good friend of mine who is a Democratic regional chair, and in East Texas they had several county Democratic county chairs who was using the same Republican uh, uh, bookkeeping services to keep their records.
Mm, mm.
And they were like, "You're giving." I mean, talk about inviting someone in, but these were Democratic chairs. And rather than look for some quality bookkeeping service, they found this person, and that person was a known Republican.
Right.
It's called lazy.
That's lazy. Capital ALZY. Lazy. Hey, Dustin is saying
Right.
again. Dustin saying, and Dustin Harris in the chat said, I don't know if y'all paying attention, but of the people running for city council is putting out very strong Republican Party over doing for the people of Beaumont. I'm
She
not
talking
quite.
about Phil Shop? I'm just asking.
Stir it up.
Among others,
Stir it
among
up.
others.
Stir it up.
Now, and some others.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yes, lots of
Stir it
others.
up. Stir it up.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When I get
I'm
more
with
information,
Dustin.
I'll
Roy. Yes.
I'll blast it out when I get more info. But we we've always had this problem. This problem been going on since the day we started voting. We just
And
can't get
and
it.
city government should not be partisan. It should
No,
be just who's the best qualified for the
that's
job.
right. Exactly the right one. I'm looking down on message here. What do you guys talk about the removal of the federal agency and funding? What do you think? What's your thoughts on that? That's,
They don't know what they're doing.
they don't. The
They
Doge.
done they
The
done
Doge.
they done
You know,
they
keep
done
Yeah,
found out.
yeah. Let me
yeah.
tell you something.
Well, I
I,
mean, and in many ways, we are finding out because there's been more hype than anything else. Has caused more people that whole thing about him telling people to email what you did last week.
right.
The five top things you did last week. Now,
Well,
I want to know if everybody is feeling the
that used to
same
be
way,
when I
which
was
is
in third grade.
disgruntled.
That's
Why
my
are they
family in
not?
third grade.
Why are they not talking about impeaching him already? I'm just asking.
Because I don't think we really know how to fight.
We can't put it. We can't impeach him. I mean,
Why not?
we don't have the numbers. We don't have the
Uh,
House. No, do
it
we
wouldn't
have?
matter if you have the numbers or not. You still have representatives that are there on your behalf. And if you address and I do apologize, I got kicked out. But if you
And they
do
are hearing
have
from their
access,
It's
constituencies.
right. They are
and they
hearing
are
from us.
asking for impeachment. They are articles
Oh,
of
but that's already
impeachment
been
that are
asked
ready to
for.
be.
But
Yeah, but I'm
but do
saying
they
they are
have?
drafting articles
But
of impeachment.
okay, but do they have a spine to do it? Do they have a
Oh, it's
Your
coming,
spine
Tony.
to
Just
your
do it?
wait.
your your
Well, I
Republican
will tell
base,
you
I
this.
doubt.
I hope you're
Yeah,
right, Miss Cat.
yeah.
I hope
But
you're
I
right,
do.
Miss
I
Cat.
will share this. The late Congressman Alcee Hastings said this, and I have to admit that I have not really followed that instruction. But he said for all of us who live under Republican leadership, whether it's your state senator, your the senator, your congressperson, he said of all the hours in the week, all it takes is really 1 hour or maybe even less, 30 minutes out of your day to record and call each one of those and voice your discontent. We find most people think that that doesn't work, but we are finding out that the logs are true. That when they begin to hear, like everything else, and we know that there are cowards,
They'll put it.
they really sense it, and that's one of the things that I'm saying. When these Republicans come home for their town halls, we should not ignore it. We should show up. We should show up because there are other disgruntled people that are there, and if your life is disgruntled, I feel like you ought to share that they ought to feel that pain.
Yeah, they ought to feel pain. It's gonna be some
Yeah,
consequences and repercussions.
yeah.
This is,
And
but you know, it's gonna affect us all, but not just that. It's gonna affect.
elections is coming up though, y'all.
They
Elections
want
is
it to
coming
affect
up.
us. They want it to affect us, but we're
Oh
not going.
yeah, of course they
But
did.
we
Who
gonna make it.
doesn't? Who don't know that?
We gonna make it. We've
But the
been
thing
doing it all
about
this
it
time.
is, y'all, I will say this: for as much classism that's going on right now, and it to me, it has nothing to do. Of course, race is an underliner, right? But class is definitely what's being targeted here right now. This this guy said that they're going to remove the green card and offer a gold card
Yeah.
to where like you will be able
Well,
to buy this gold card. How much is the gold card?
five
More
million.
than the green
Right.
card.
Right. But wait. Listen. And that's on that. It's for the, it's for the white people from South Africa to come to America for that free. He's going to give you citizens that's free ride for the citizenship because
And I'm
they're
quite
gonna
sure
bring
they're
more money to the country. Man, look here. He
well.
look.
I mean, like I told, like I mentioned a moment ago, but we do know that the rhetoric is to bring more white individuals into the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
whether they're qualified or unqualified. We just
Mm-hmm.
saw the highest uh, military brass be removed from his space, right? A four-star general
Right.
because he was black.
And you
Overqualified individual for that space. And he was removed and replaced by a three-star general white guy. That did not,
a drunk ass
I
white
was
boy.
about to say, and got looked over for advancements because of, military ethics.
Right.
And so, as a military person myself, I'm trying to figure out how is it that we have allowed the federal government to, I wouldn't even say the federal government, that we have allowed a felon to overthrow our own government.
Right.
We've allowed a millionaire or however much
Billionaire.
money he got,
Unelected.
unelected, unappointed, unvetted cabinet member.
But
I
not a
mean,
cat. No,
like
no, 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 no.
intrude
You're
in
giving too much
every
credit. Not a
piece of
cabinet member. Not a
privacy
He's
cabinet.
not
that,
a cabinet
He's not a
member.
cabinet member.
according to the press secretary, he is a cabinet member. According to the Orange Orangutan's press secretary. But I
Mine.
just said unconfirmed, unvetted. But they say he is a cabinet member, that he has the authority. But we all know that he does not. According to the federal constitution, according to the ethics and laws in place, he is not a vetted individual. But he got everybody's personal information. Everybody's,
There it is.
like, if you have ever received a check from the IRS or the US Treasury, you and anybody else, he got that information. If you are a recipient of Social Security disability, Social Security supplemental income, he has your information.
And
If
he
you
gonna
are a
sell it.
Yep.
veteran receiving compensation, he has your information. If you are a
Yep.
federal contract, he has your information. Period.
Right.
And he gonna
And
and he
there are
gonna
many federal contractees like myself that have not been paid yet.
Did you hear the judgment that happened today? That was fire. The Trump attorney went before the judge because the restraining order is 12 days old. When the judge asked the lawyer, well, when we first told you to return the funds, you said it was a holiday because that happened during Martin Luther King. The judge says, here we are 12 days out.
You still ain't
Where
returning
are the
funds.
funds? Where the judge gave the Trump administration until 11:59
Tonight.
tomorrow night to
Yeah,
have them
yeah,
funds
tomorrow night.
not
Yes.
gonna be paid. It better be paid.
Paid
And
in
if it's
full.
not paid, then we are gonna subpoena the folk who told you not to pull the not to follow the judge's order, and we gonna bring their asses to court.
contempt of court.
They gonna bring the president to court?
Whoever were the instructors, Trump
Right.
is not going. Trump not going to get his hands dirty. But yeah, the judge is saying no. I'm through with this.
Right. Right. And Dustin, I like that information that you put up there. Federal government employees, white men 35.5%, white women 24.4%. That's 57.9%. Mind you, over half of those individuals is veterans.
Hmm.
Over half of the federal government employees is veterans, because most veterans find safety and security in working for the federal government, not to mention the federal government finds safety and security in hiring veterans.
Right.
Over half of who they are firing are veterans of our country.
And we
Right.
told them. We
Right.
tried to
At one
tell them.
point, that was most of your post.
We tried to tell them. But Miss Cat said our time is up.
I didn't say nothing,
What's-
Tony.
I mean, the conversation is great. I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I can stay on it for a little bit longer because I enjoy
You like the round table. Just say it, man. We'll add you back as a co-host, man.
He
It's no
lonely.
problem. We'll add you back, brother. He is. You see
No,
it?
I mean it's some good talk, and I like to always discuss every now and then. I like to talk about it, But the DEI deal was supposed to hurt the black and brown. That's what it was intention to. I mean, the DEI really didn't help us.
Well, that's what
But,
they
Oh,
that's the
yes, it did. It
narrative
helped
they
everybody,
told.
Tony.
but it was only for black and brown. It was only two point
Is the narrative,
seven
right?
percent.
That's the narrative that they
But
told.
it really hurted the red caps and the red states
And
more than it would have.
disabled
Right,
individuals.
disabled
Tony,
individuals,
it hurt everybody.
senior
It
It
really
citizen
hurt
hurt.
law.
everybody
Yes,
Yeah, it
it
does.
Oh
It
does.
just
yeah,
it does.
because
It really
you
does.
have you have people that are diverse that need equity and inclusion in every race. So it hurt everybody.
right.
They just didn't realize
Yeah,
how close to home it was going to hit when it hit.
Right.
Right.
right,
You're right. You're
right.
absolutely correct. And
Right, and their actions violate nature. Yeah, I mean, if the one thing DI has done, it has at least given a sense of how to work together.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the one thing that gets lost in this is just that really our idea is really just to hope for unity, and unity is not agreement.
I
And
totally
if we
agree.
can, you're right. I mean, the Bible said, "How blessed it is for brethren to live together in
In unity.
unity."
hmm
Not
Yeah.
in agreement, not in one
Yeah.
organization. We can have as many organizations if we want to, as long as we know how to come together
In unity.
in
So
unity.
aside from the boycott on the financial boycott and redistribution of black wealth and black commerce, supporting black commerce, um would any of you be willing to go to DC and protest, or Austin and protest, or your state and federal representatives, county, even let your county know that we're not standing for it? Anybody willing to go to their city government and let their city government know that we are not standing for it? uh, Address everybody you possibly can and let them know that we are not standing for it. So my question is, who is the first person you reach out to? Go ahead, Perry.
Who was the first person I reach out to?
Hmm.
Shoot, the first person I meet. I'm on the stranger. I'm out here. We have to see this as not just in the common. And so part of this is about stretching. So I got to
Mm.
put myself in unfamiliar territories to reach out.
Who you
You
contacting
know,
first, Miss Cat? My bad, Perry. Go ahead.
Is the first person I reach out to, is that local or is that in my government? What do I mean? Where am I going here?
Uh, your first person that you reach out to. If you getting ready to plot, plan, and strategize, or if you about to tear off into your elected's tail, who is the first person you reaching out to?
I want to tear off into his tail. Probably wheelchair Willie. Abbott. Yeah, that one.
Who
Uh
is it
huh.
for you, Tony? Who is it for you?
Well, I think I go I go after the cricket Texas Attorney General.
I
Work
like
hand in
that.
hand. That's good.
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I like that one. I like that one.
I mean,
My
he
first
is
person.
corrupt.
Oh, very much so.
I mean,
My
matter of
first
fact,
person I would reach out to.
our government is corrupt now.
I mean, you might as well say
Would
that.
you change that? Would you change my? Would you say
Nah,
I'm wrong or that
Well,
you're
they're
wrong?
doing
nah.
exactly what they intended to do, which was to cause distrust in the whole system.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Tex-
And as I say, in history they say it only took Hitler what 30? One
59 days.
38 days,
59 days.
38 days, 30 something days.
59,
I think it was
38. I thought it
59
was
days.
38 something. Something.
Yeah, I thought yeah, it was in the 30s for
Yeah,
him
it's like
to,
a month and a week or something.
yeah.
And
And
so
and and like
you saw your appointee throwing your Heil Hitler sign, right?
Yeah. No.
Mm. And
yes,
it hasn't been 100 days yet.
correct.
But you know what? Let me tell y'all this before I go. Elon Musk is going to jail. He is going to jail because everything he has done has been illegal.
And he gonna pretend to kill himself like Jeffrey Epstein.
Right. And you know what else he's gonna
Uh-huh.
do?
Then they're gonna let
You
him
know
get
what
away
else?
too,
You know
like
what else
Jeffrey
gonna
Epstein.
do? His little teenagers. Them little teenagers gonna tell it all. Those little
Yeah,
teenagers.
most of them are terrified.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And nine times out of ten, that's
Yeah.
some Ivy League kid or
Some
some kid that
dropout,
was on
college
their way to
dropout.
Ivy League. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Techies.
Yeah.
I mean, but the thing about it, y'all, is we're looking at how they are misusing the future that we have. They reached out to some of the youngest individuals in our communities, which is something that is happening across the board, right? Encouraging and enticing individuals, young individuals, mind you, to put themselves in a compromising situation, not understanding the totality of the compromise. So you have
Hmm.
young individuals who are going out to, shoot up groups or set fires to this or all for a quick dollar. And so um, they see that. They see that they have pushed not only these young individuals, but these young individuals who may be taking care of a brother and or a younger sister, who may be taking care of their mother, their sickly grandmother, who may be taking care of the entire household. And that's their only route to make money is by being compromised. And knowing that there is no community safety net, no way for their community to prop them up into a positive position, those individuals will always seek out our most vulnerable populations, especially our youth, to not only
Hmm.
do their bidding, but to mess them over for the rest of their lives.
Ex-
Hmm.
And that's what we have even on the local side. So we
I
got a lot.
I
Go ahead.
I do believe that it's it's in the word. It's in the Bible says that
Wow.
what,
You
well,
got
he's
three
able.
PKs over there.
He's able. He's able. But listen, but what is done in the dark gonna come into light. Karma is real, and everything they are doing is gonna come back. They're gonna kick him dead in the ass. I'm telling you, anything that the convicted criminal felon is involved in is a failure. He's never been a. He's
Until
never.
you do right by us. I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. Yes,
You,
until you do right
no,
by us.
no,
And that's
no,
the
but
thing
look,
too,
look,
yo.
Chris.
That they
Chris, and I went straight there. You talking with PKs. I'm like, the first thing I thought about was ASAP. ASAP that said, man, I was so mad. Lord, if they had asked me to say something to church, I was so mad because you need to do something about these folks. He said, then I saw the Lord. I saw what the wicked had. So so some of us have to go through that ASAP travel,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I'm
yeah,
like, Lord, hold on. Not are you gonna do something?
How
yeah,
about Jonah? He
yeah.
went the other way. He said,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk to them people.
Oh
I'm not gonna
no.
tell them.
Mhm. Got caught up in the whale's mouth. Oh Lord, I tell you.
PKs, I'm telling y'all, we run the show, man. Three PKs. That's what we're gonna call it, y'all. We're gonna call it three PKs.
Man, I tell you, that guy's having a good time. Y'all having a good time. I enjoy my visit on this show tonight. And Dustin, if you're still listening,
Hey
watching,
man,
we're gonna
I
send you a link.
appreciate
We're gonna
Dustin.
send
That's
you a
my
link and let you
All
join
classmate.
in
That's
right,
on this.
also my
Dustin.
battle
Yeah, I
brother too.
We
Through
appreciate
your
it.
can, yeah,
service.
we can send you a link and let you join in on this.
Absolutely. That's what I want, Tony. How do we get a phone number so that we can have people call in or something?
I have to dig and find out. I'll have to call the support and find out.
Yeah, we want a little phone number so that they could call in and chop it up a little bit, or like you said, just pull somebody from the comments, because
Yeah,
Right.
Dustin been engaged in this
I'm
entire evening,
telling
and
you.
as a young man, I promise y'all, the things that I'm saying comes from our communities.
that's right.
Hmm.
So yeah, but we're
Appreciate
gonna
you,
we're gonna put
Dustin.
you on one day, Dustin. We definitely gonna put you on, man. Thanks again for following the Knowledge is Power podcast live and listening to and tuning in on Tuesdays to the Roundtable Talk.
Yeah,
I want anybody that has any final words to give me some final words of encouragement that will, carry us through the rest of the week. You have the floor, Queen.
I want to say, first of all, to Raul, always remain respectful. Let's see what Dustin is saying here. Elon Musk is about to lose his Canadian citizenship as well, so he can't run there.
I still can't go
Yeah,
there.
but we got to keep our good eye on him, and
Yes.
something needs to be done about him ASAP because he's really
Hmm.
trying to put America in apartheid
Right.
because that's what he come
He's gonna
from.
Hmm.
he's gonna sell it
Correct.
to he's gonna
Correct.
sell it to China and Russia. All our information.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I mean, but
Mm-hmm.
we have to understand that it's a data race anyway. Our data is more than the money that we work for at work.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, data
Yeah.
mining is one of the biggest gold mines you could
Oh
have right
yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm.
But I totally agree, Miss Cat. Perry, give me something for the rest of the week.
Oh man. Keep Google. Keep Googling. Keep searching. Keep finding. I mean, my thing is don't ever stop asking questions
Yeah, I totally agree.
and seeking answers. If you ask a question, seek an answer.
Hmm. What's the
Bible said,
wise
Don't
word
"Seek
for
just
the
and ye
talk
shall
about it,
find."
be
Right.
about it. That's
right?
what I want to say.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't just use the wise word. I mean, be about it. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Faith without works is dead, is from what I heard.
That's right.
Love is what it does.
Tony, what's the word? What's the word? Give me some good vibes for the rest of the week that we could carry out.
Hey, you know what? I trust God that He will take care of us. That's all I can say. He will. He done it before. He going to do it again. I want to remind everybody that the LA Productions present the fifth annual custom car show Sunday. That's this Sunday, March the 2nd, from 2 to 6 p.m. at Terra Park. For more information, you can call 409-350-1016. My guest is going to be Thursday on Knowledge is Power podcast. I'm having a special date for Miss Alexis Morgan. She is the sponsor of this and production of this custom car show. That's this Sunday. She'll be with us Thursday to tell us all about it. So I want you everyone that's listening and watching, come and join us for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes of Mix Alexis Morgan from the LA production that's presenting the fifth annual custom car show right here in Beaumont, Texas. Where she's going to be at? Oh, yeah, she's going to be right in Beaumont, Texas at Terra Park. All right. I got off the screen. I couldn't see myself. So here I am. Get back, get everybody. There we go. Everybody. Okay. All right. Let me get this off the screen here. I'm doing too much.
No, you perfect. My final words for this evening. Again, like I said, thank you all for tuning in this evening, listening to us, engaging. Thanks again, Dustin, for engaging. We'll definitely look forward to having you as a guest on the show here pretty soon. And again, I would definitely encourage everybody, like Perry said, continue to do your work research. Continue to do your research, research over me search. I follow consciously, and that's one of the things he says is research over me search, research, study to show yourself approved. I promise.
Hmm.
It is definitely needed in this time. Reach back to find out some of the playbooks of history. You know, go back to finding out some of the Medgar Evers lectures or stories or happenings before his murder. Go back to find out some of the things that were happening, during the bus boycott and the federal the financial redistribution that was about to take place in the black community. And then they killed a civil rights leader. They murdered a civil rights leader because all of these individuals were coming together. Be mindful that we are in tumultuous times of uncertainty. And our freedom is not free, y'all. Please understand that freedom is not free. Yes, ma'am, Miss Cat.
And go back and train someone behind you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
And that's it. That's it for me. That's it for me, Tony.
Okay, guys, I enjoyed you. Enjoyed your show. Your show was outstanding tonight. Where am I? I'm trying to get myself back on the screen again. Hold on. I'm coming. Hold on.
We see you.
We
Uh,
see you.
you
He
see
don't
me.
see you.
I
He
was on.
don't see
I was
me.
on. I was back. I was back screen on the back screen of making some moves. So, but I appreciate you guys. You've done a wonderful job on the Thursday night round table talk show, and we see you next Tuesday at 9 p.m. And every Tuesday for the Roundtable Talk Show with Chris Jones, Perry Busby, and Catherine
Campbell, just like the
Campbell.
soup.
Kath, uh,
Good.
see, that's what I'm.
Dr. Campbell.
You see what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking
Y'all have
about?
a good night.
Yeah. Yeah,
See,
you see why I couldn't go to our
I
house
I see why you stay frustrated. I see. I see. He be all discombobulated. I can't function.
It's just the words. Come on.
have,
Y'all have a good night.
have me
Good
have me sitting on
night.
my phone on the side. All right, guys. Yeah. And join me Thursday, Knowledge Power Podcast Live. Have a special podcast at 7 o'clock on Thursday with Miss Alexis Morgan. We're
Are
going
you
to talk
gonna go
about.
live from the car show?
No, we're just going to be here and we're going to talk about it for a few minutes and get on out of here. But also, I have my Sunday show too. At 7 p.m. will be Miss Vanessa Washington. We're going to be talking about income tax, what to expect, what to look out for, what's
I'm
the
not
best
paying
advice.
no taxes. My government is dysfunctional. What I look like filing taxes? What I look like? No taxation without
Didn't they fire
representation.
everybody from the IRS?
No taxation without representation.
That's right. How are we going to get our
No
taxes?
taxation without representation. That's what it is. I'm not paying you. I'm not paying you country folks nothing.
Okay. You did.
Come
Hey,
find me.
They have your info,
Come
you
find
know.
me.
Yeah, right.
Shoot, y'all look, and what? But here's one quick thing that I do want to
Y'all just
share
don't
with
want to
you
get
all.
off. I don't mind.
Regarding your security, and I mean this with all thing. Uh, Make sure that you get a VPN for your cell phone and that you keep it activated at all times. Make sure that you use a VPN on all your devices at this time. And I say that as a person in go find you a VPN for all of your devices. Do not walk out here in these days and time.
right.
So,
Without that
and if you need
protection.
to know that, I'll bring you some information. We can talk about it on a future show.
Yep.
But all of
That's
you
what it'll be. Next week's
really
show
need
is
to get some
about tools. How
VPNs.
we gonna prepare? That's what next week's is.
God bless.
Y'all have a good night.
Have
God
a great
bless.
day. Good night.
Good night.
Peace.